Hello, I'm Bill LeMay, and thank you for watching Community Matters. We hope you'll continue to watch as we discuss issues facing our community and provide you with the resources and information needed to find solutions. Rising inflation is a big issue right now. When will it peak? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? And how will it impact your daily life? Today, we're talking to Dr. Michael Walden, a William Niels Reynolds Distinguished Professor of Emeritus at NC State University. And Doctor, good morning. It's good to see you.
Good to see you, Bill. This is great.
We don't have to pay the high gas prices when we do Zoom. You're very smart.
That's right.
So everybody's feeling the pinch, Doctor, and I don't think there's one reason for inflation, but we're going to get into all of that. I thought maybe we could just start with maybe just a basic definition of inflation. What is it?
Well, we always have inflation to some degree. Inflation is measured by the government. The federal government goes out and surveys prices every month, thousands of different products. They have a formula for taking all those price changes and putting them into one number. Essentially, what they do is they weight the prices of various items by how important they are into a consumer's budget. So, for example, gas gets a very heavy weight. And so it's the rate of change of the average prices from month to month, year to year. And as most people know, right around the end of 2020, they started to go up. And the latest reading we've had, Bill, is that we've had over the March 2021 period to the March 2022, that year, average prices went up 8.5%. Now, that doesn't mean every price went up that level, somewhat more, somewhat less, but this is an average. And this is the highest inflation rate, Bill, that we've had in over 40 years. When I came to NC State in 1978, joined the faculty, that was the big issue. And really, inflation went away as an issue because federal government and Federal Reserve worked to get it down to maybe 1 or 2% a year. But again, since 2020, it certainly has an issue.
Well, and a lot of people are asking the question, why? How does this happen? How do we lose control of this?
Well, the very eminent late Nobel laureate Milton Friedman, I hold him in very, very high esteem as one of the intellectual giants in the economics field, partly because he just didn't talk to other economists. He talked to real people, and I've tried to model my career in some sense after that. Anyway, he gave a very, I think, succinct definition of inflation. He said inflation results when you have too many dollars chasing too few goods and services. A little more translation there. What he means is people are trying to buy more. They have more money. They have money to buy more than what producers are able to supply. And so in our system where prices are free to float up and down, that means that if you've got something to sell, you've got more buyers who want it, you can charge a little more for that. And we've seen problems or issues, I should say, on both the buying side and the supply side. Let me start with the supply side first. Everyone's heard of the supply chain problems, the fact that COVID shut down a lot of factories worldwide, and we are in a global economy. Businesses are not able to get back to levels of production. For example, here at the Walden household, we've ordered some windows for our 60-year-old house. First time we've replaced the windows, we've had to wait for a better part of half a year in order to get those windows in because it just took that long to get them from the producer. So we have had problems on the supply side. Labor shortage is part of that also. But we've also had over the course of the last now 2 years, a variety of federal programs that have been passed by Congress, signed by both President Trump, President Biden, pushed into the economy that were designed to help people, families, businesses, institutions get through COVID. But what the downside of this was it pushed a lot of cash into the economy, $5.5 trillion pushed into the economy. And the Federal Reserve has backed this up by literally printing more money. In fact, the money supply since COVID began has gone up around 40%. So you literally have the conditions that meet Friedman's definition of inflation: too many dollars chasing too few goods and services.
Well, no, we can talk about the government just a little bit here if we could. The $5.5 trillion, I mean, we throw that out there now, and it used to be a shock to me to say trillion, and now not so much. I mean, it's hard to even imagine $1 trillion. And we're still doing this. We're passing budgets that are extremely high, into the trillions. Is that one of the, and I know there are lots of variables when it comes to inflation, is that one area that we could control better than we are in order to curb this inflation?
Yes, I think as we look back, and I'm always hesitant to look back and second guess decision makers, because I can remember 2 years ago when we were just entering the danger zone of COVID. No one knew where it was going. We didn't know how deadly it would be. We didn't know if there were going to be vaccines. And we didn't want to literally lose our economy. We wanted, once COVID was over, to have an economy left. So I sort of understand this is all at the federal level. Our federal decision makers say, look, we've got to get money out there in people's hands. We've got to support people. We've got to try to stimulate buying. We've got to support businesses that don't have revenues, et cetera. So I sort of get that. I think the package that was passed under President Biden, March 2021, that probably got the most scrutiny, because many of the medical people would say, well, by that time we knew we had the vaccines, we knew COVID was under control. Maybe we didn't need that final, I think it was $1.9 trillion. I'm not getting partisan here, but I think that final package was the one that a lot of economists scratched their heads at. In fact, one who scratched his head a lot over that was Larry Summers, who, among other jobs, he was Treasury Secretary under Bill Clinton. He was head of the National Economic Council under President Obama, president of Harvard. His allegiances are with the Democrat Party, but he was one of the first, I think, to raise the question of maybe we've gone a bridge too far here. Maybe we've gone a bill too far here. So I think you can make the argument that last bill probably wasn't really needed if we were worried about inflation.
All right. Well, Dr. sit tight. We're going to come back. I want to talk about, everyday issues that people are facing, at the gas pump. Maybe it's good news that your home has increased in value. I don't know. You can tell us when we come back. And what's causing that? In addition to some of the government spending, I know there's lots more involved. We're visiting with Dr. Mike Walden, and we'll be right back.